Lauren Malhoit, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a walkthrough of vSphere AppHA, kind of a new feature with vSphere 5.5. It has only existed through the use of third-party agents and scripting before. So, to begin with, we actually have several parts to vSphere AppHA. We have to... Here I'm on the web client, as you can see, because we can only use AppHA via the web client. But I just wanted to make note that we do need a vFabric Hyperic server, which I have downloaded the OVA and created the vApp just because that's easier, and I'm not that familiar with Hyperic. And then we also have the vSphere AppHA virtual appliance, which is available for download via vmware.com. And luckily, Hyperic does not require an extra license. So if you have the vSphere AppHA license, you should be set there. I will note that vFabric Hyperic server, although it says can run on like 2 gigs of RAM and 2 vCPUs, I would recommend a lot more than that, because I've had many troubles in my home lab that doesn't have a whole lot of RAM. So anyway, let's get back to what we have here. If we go back to our home page here, we can click on administration, and right now we have the vSphere AppHA plugin there because I've installed the virtual appliance and enabled that plugin. And so right here we have our policies tab, and here we have the settings tab. The settings is where you connect to your vFabric Hyperic server, which I can show you here. We have our vFabric Hyperic server, and you can see the 3 servers that I have that were auto-discovered over here, and I just added them to inventory. So this SQL server is kind of my test server. And as you can see, it's monitoring several different services, IIS, .NET, SQL as well. So what I did is, we're back in the vSphere web client now. After I connected to my Hyperic server and did the setup with that, I created several policies. We're going to take a look at this IIS policy. But essentially, you just click on that plus sign and give it a name. We can give it a test. You select a service. Now these are the only available services right now that you can monitor via vSphere AppHA and the Hyperic server. Hyperic obviously monitors more, but this is kind of what we're stuck with. So if I wanted to do Apache, I can put that in there. Now you can let vFabric Hyperic discover all of these values, host names, ports, paths. It's all different depending on the service that you pick. But we'll just stick with the defaults there. Now here's the remediation tab, which allows us to restart the service if it goes down. And then, we can specify a startup time. We can say reset the VM if the first restart of the service failed. Or we can also say reset the VM in the event the service is unstable. And you can then specify the amount of service restarts that make you consider it unstable and give it a time window, which we'll just do there. Now for this, you can actually have vCenter give you an alarm that the service has stopped, and you do need to configure another plugin from the vFabric Hyperic server to make that work, but you can also then configure it to trigger and send an email. And that's it for creating a policy. So now we'll see, you have my test policy here. And these values, you can view the policy, you can duplicate the policy, you can delete the policy, and that's pretty much all you can do. Alright, so let's go back here and go to my vCenter. Alright. And I have just the top level of the tree highlighted here, and I'm waiting. I've clicked on monitor and then applications availability, and hopefully that will pop up. As you can see, the wheels are spinning here. Okay, so now I finally have my application services listed here. These are from the servers where I've loaded the Hyperic agent. And so now I can actually pick a service. I can't pick the unknown services because that will just fail. As you can see, no policies come up either because I don't have any Spring Source policies. But if I were to pick a SQL Server policy, I could assign either of my SQL services to that and then click OK, and that would be fine. So right now I'm just going to show I have my IIS policy configured, and you can also unassign a policy here and enter maintenance mode, and that's if you were going to do maintenance. You don't want vSphere AppHA to inhibit that. So I have my IIS 7.x policy configured for this service, and if I go to my SQL Server now, where I have the World Wide Web service running, I can go ahead and stop that. And now we wait for it to restart. And as you can see, it's restarted.